think wealth is one thing we all need, right?
Amen.
I didn't know anything about wealth at all. So don't get me wrong, my mother taught me to have a joint account with Jesus, and that nobody but you and Jesus knew about. That was my financial literacy training. We do not talk about money, now. We are in a recession, and the one thing I'm going to tell you, just in the next 5 minutes, I want to tell you how to make money. That's the one thing, I'll tell you how to do that. Because I think the first thing in how to make money, and I didn't know, and I'll tell you that in a few minutes about how I learned, but the thing is, who in here is a parent? Okay, most people are parents. The one thing, the recession is caused by our children. Really. Our kids are taking our money. If you put down, no really, our kids are taking our money. I think the first thing you have to do is lay off your children. Really. And the thing is, who has kids and they pay for their kids' cell phones? Do your kids have a better cell phone than you?
Yeah.
No.
My students have one.
Most of your kids have better cell phones than you do. The one thing is, I think you need to lay off your children. You need to start making them make money. I ended up having all three of my sons sitting around the table. I came home, lights on, TV on, they're on the cell phone, clothes on that I purchased. I told them, one of us is going to have to go. And it's not going to be me. So the thing is, all three of my sons work, and they said, Mom, and I said, you got to bring in some income. They said, Mom, don't you know child labor laws? And I'm like, yes, but all of them work. This was a long time ago when I saw that my kids were breaking me. So I ended up, my oldest son speaks like 5 different languages. So, but don't get me wrong, I speak 2 languages, English and body language. Anyway, but my oldest son, so he became a translator. You know they pay $200 for translators now? Per hour. That's how he worked his way through college. My middle son loves basketball, but he ended up buying Nike stock at age 8. He wrote, this is the power of the pen for my baby. He wrote Nike and said, can I become a tester of your company? Before any gym shoes come out, guess what? He gets any gym shoes. Now he's a tester for Adidas because he's a manager of the team at U of M. Manager of the basketball team. He's a freshman there. But the thing is, he puts on 3-on-3 basketball tournaments. Go on youngbiz.com. Teach your kids $2,500 they make in a day by putting on a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. So, and he just went on a website called paytoride.com. If anybody's ever done that, you see the people with those stickers on their car? $700 a month for putting those things on your car. So anyway, different things like that. Anyway, I got a list of things my kids do, but my baby, video games. He ended up calling me at work one day, telling my mom, bring me home some Microsoft company. My goal is to teach kids to be owners of companies versus a consumer. Now, I'm not telling you what stocks to buy, but these are things that my kids did. So he ended up writing Microsoft, became a tester of Microsoft. We get the Xbox 360. We have 2 of them at home, and he rents the other one out to the neighbors. But the thing is, and we get the Halo games and all of that. He also is a tester of cereal. He loves to eat before it comes to market. Put your kids to work. Let them bring in some income, and you bring in other avenues of income. And I'll give you a few things, a list of income. Do you want to hear them?
Yeah.
Go ahead, yeah. Okay. Here, let me. Okay. Because what I want everybody in here to do is take a mind your own business day, okay? I write about it in the book. I want everybody just to mind their own business for one day a month. It might be hard for some people. And during that day, I want you to make layoffs. Anything that's not making you money, I want you to lay it off. Write down every single thing you spend. Go on a website called mint.com. It's a great budget website. I want you to try to, if you want to become a tester, call this company called Opinion Search. And I'll give you the number if you want it. It's 1-800-358-9919, or go on focusgroups.com or go on Craigslist. I want you to do that. I want you to go home, clean out your closets. My largest check I got from just taking my clothes to a consignment shop was $598. Everybody here has clothes they don't wear, right? Take your kids' clothes to Plato's Closets. I will not buy my kids' clothes until they take their clothes to Plato's Closet and get money. Another thing my son does, he goes on a website called gazelle.com. He sends back like all video, VCRs, things like that. Electronics, he gets paid $115 per electronic. So go on gazell.com, Another thing I want you to do, become a mystery shopper. Get paid to go shopping. Next time you go shopping. Another thing that my youngest son does, he goes on his website called istockphoto.com. He takes pictures, and people buy the pictures off of the website. You can get paid like $3,000 per picture. So if you like to take pictures, start doing things like that. So I wanted to give you some avenues of income. The other thing is, you know how people say, well, I need to find a job? I always tell my kids, don't ever exchange dollars for hours. What I want you to do is create your own job. So I always tell people when they come to me for jobs, I don't know if my youngest, he will stand in line and get paid $200 just to stand in line. Google how to stand in line. You got young kids, put them to work. They could stand in line. Another thing you can do, I don't know if anybody's ever done this, but westathome.com. That's a way that you can become your own, like customer service. You know people have customer service, you call. Create your own jobs at home. Look at the website, westathome.com and alpineaccess.com. Sell your CDs and books online, cashforbooks.com or cashforcds.com. So anyway, those are some different avenues of income because I know everybody's talking about living paycheck to paycheck. You're wealthy if you live paycheck to paycheck now. Most people are living paycheck to Monday. Right. So what I want people to do is to stretch their paycheck, but first, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. Keep it, save it, invest it. I cannot say that enough for everybody. That's what we all need to start doing. So I don't care if you pay yourself, definitely pay yourself first. And the last thing I want to just say, I didn't know anything about investing at all. I got started out as I was in college. I got married, pregnant, and divorced all within 1 year in college. Now, there's nobody's business here which came first. But anyway, but after I got divorced, I needed to get a job. So I sent out my resume everywhere. So you know how you sent out your resume, a brokerage firm called me. I didn't know what a brokerage firm did. I just knew I was broke. It sounded good. Brokerage firm, I'm broke. So anyway, so I go and get a job at a brokerage firm. I was a receptionist. Loved to talk. So as you can tell, people came in the front door, and I was like, oh, how much money you got? You know, I was talking to one lady said, I just got divorced. I got $1 million. I'm going to invest it. And I'm thinking, wow, $1 million. I just got divorced. I'm like, girl, who'd you marry? But anyway, so then, and here I am, and I had a negative checking balance. So anyway, so I asked, could I become a secretary and look into people's accounts and start, then you can go on the computer, and I wanted to see what people were buying. So people were buying like Coach, and I'm like, I want a Coach purse. I wanted to drink Pepsi. They own Pepsi. So everything I wanted to own, they were out here buying it as a shareholder. So I'm thinking, wow, I'm going off the world backwards. So then I said, I want to become a stockbroker. So after I said, well, let me try to become a stockbroker, and they said, Gail, you are the best secretary we have. So no, you cannot become a stockbroker. So one night, I saw the book sitting on the table to become a stockbroker, Series 7, and I Xeroxed the books. I came back, picked up my son, Brandon, from daycare, Xeroxed the books, studied from 4 to 6 every morning, passed the test. They said, Gail, you should have never done it. We're going to take bets. You'll never pass it anyway. And I was the only African-American female, which I am now, the only African-American female at the whole total Oppenheimer in the entire country. So they ended up saying, Gail, you'll never pass it. I passed the test. They said, well, you are a licensed secretary. So then I said, well, you know what? They still would not let me be a broker. So I said, well, you know what? I want to put on a seminar. They said, well, not on our time. So I put on the seminar, St. Regis Hotel right down the street. And it cost me $350. So I ended up getting about 200 people to come out, RSVPs, all this stuff. They wanted their $350. I did not have $350. I asked my manager. He said, Gail, this is not a company-sponsored seminar. And I was like, what am I going to do? Call my mom? And she said, Gail, don't lose that job. You know how my mother, young Frankie was. Don't lose that job. You don't do this. So anyway, I ended up taking a job as a waitress the nights I didn't go to school. And I ended up going to the St. Regis Hotel with rolled up quarters, pennies, dollars, everything, and paid $350, had 200 people out. And I'm like, look, you got $25, you got $25, $25, start investing today. My job said, Gail, I don't like these little bitty accounts, but you are the #1 new account opener. You can try to be a broker. If you don't make it, I'm giving you 90 days. If you don't make it, you can slide back over. They put 2 desks next to each other, and you can slide back over to be a secretary if you don't make it. So anyway, I never looked back, and now I'm the senior director of investments.